right, man. Let's talk about Tory Lanez. Now, apparently, he was denied a new trial in the Megan Thee Stallion case, and now he's facing a minimum of 9 years, and I think a maximum of 20 years. Now, you got people on the internet saying that he don't deserve this. He don't deserve this, and I'm kind of speak on a kind of angle from my perspective. I don't know if anybody else gave this angle, but Tory Lanez is denied a new trial in Megan Thee Stallion shooting case. He says, shout out to LA Times, by the way. Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Tuesday denied a motion for a new trial for rapper Tory Lanez, who was convicted of 3 felonies in December for shooting hip hop star Megan Thee Stallion in the feet and wounding her. Judge David Harryford rejected the argument by lawyers for Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson. The evidence was wrongly admitted at the trial he proceeded over. He said the exclusion of dispute evidence would not have made a difference at the trial. Peterson, 30, Tory Lanez, will now be sentenced for conviction of assault with semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle and discharging the firearm with gross negligence. He could get up to 22 years in prison, and faces deportation to his native Canada. No sentence date has been set. As he was led from the courtroom back to jail after hearing a motion Monday, Peterson pled with Harry Ford to help him. He's saying, I could be your son, I could be your brother. The motion for a new trial filed immediately afterwards with the same judge or a common prosecutor. That's a precursor, to appealing higher court, something Peterson attorney planned to do. The motion are very rarely successful. Peterson, obviously, Tory Lanez's lawyer asserted that post from Instagram account was improperly admitted into evidence. They said the testimony about Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, that Peterson urged her not to go to the police because he was on parole and would not be in serious trouble with both untrue and improper allowance of prior bad acts. And they said the DA evidence that the prosecutor used to argue Peterson was likely the shooter fell short of industry standards. Peterson's attorney were disappointed from the start on a Monday all day oral arguments on their motion. They had elaborated presentation prepared, but he said to complete with audio, visual, and witnesses. But Harry Ford said they have none of it, insisting instead of narrow legal arguments that precise issue raised the norm of such motion in California court. They pled at length with Harry Ford to allow the present present their argument the way they planned. Quote, I feel like I would have been ineffective to proceed if we proceeded. Defense attorney Jose Baez and Mr. Peterson, Tory Lanez, has the right to due process for which he's entitled. He said they moved on under the protest and later filed a motion to have a judge disqualified. Peterson's lawyer, Tory Lanez, who did not represent him at the trial, said attorney who did, George, I don't know how to say that, Magladeshe, whatever, made a mistake in the case because he was given so little time to prepare before the trial when the rapper's previous attorney dropped out. Pete, terrified that Peterson fired a handgun at the back of her feet and shouted to her dance as she walked away from the SUV in which they had been riding in Hollywood Hills in the summer of 2020. Whatever his previous attorney said that the trial that Megan was lying and Peterson did not pull the trigger. He said afterwards there was no sufficient evidence to convict. So now her friend asked for immunity in the case. That's what the fishy thing. Now, I think the evidence they trying to get thrown out, I could be wrong here, is basically when he said he was on the jail phone, admitting that he was drugged, and he apologized, and that started to surface on the internet. So to me, that was just stupid. All right. But with him, I mean, this whole situation is messy. He's a hothead. I mean, whenever he ran down on that rapper Dex, and he was trying to get him to apologize for dissing him when him and Don Q was going at it, and he was, he basically issued a challenge to all the rappers that, I'm willing to go bar for bar with you, and I'm willing to go, bar for bar, and he was challenging his rap. And then Dex, he dropped some shit. Then he ran down on Dex in Canada with the camera only pointed towards, Dex. and he pretty much said that Dex pretty much said that that dude, basically had a whole bunch of dudes with him, and they was allegedly pointing firearms at him. Don't forget about the case he got caught with in South Florida too. I think allegedly he got caught with some firearms and stuff. So, dude, this dude had been doing wild shit. The whole thing with August Alsina, you supposed to be keeping a low profile. Going to Rolling Loud and violating a restraining order, dude. It's just too much of a history, bro. You doing shit. Even when you facing a trial, you out here doing hot shit. And even before the trial, he should be fucking deported. Some of the shit he been accused of. And got caught and just got a slap on the wrist. So at the end of the day, bro, he a hothead, bro. I ain't like what he did to old buddy, bro. The Canadian rapper Dex, where he pulled he did that shit to him. Man, that shit was weak as hell. If you gonna issue a challenge, you know what I'm saying, to the rap world, then I don't think that limits you to I don't think that limits you to just rappers outside of Canada. But man, I really ain't never feel a homeboy, bro. He hell of an artist, bro. Hell of an artist. But he got too many incidents that I seen where him being a high head and all this. But the only thing I can really vouch for him in his favor is why was the other her best friend, which Tory Lanez allegedly manipulated the situation by saying that, because him and the best friend, I don't know what was going, but he manipulated situation about him hitting both of them allegedly, and that's kind of what sparked the argument or whatever. And he wasn't ready to leave the party. They said Megan got jealous of Kylie Jenner being in his face, whatever. How women are. They ain't gonna never admit when they jealous. They don't have accountability, especially modern women, young modern women. They don't really have accountability. A lot of these old women don't have no accountability either, but that's a different conversation. And he manipulated the argument, then it spilled out. But my thing is, when a friend Kelsey asked for immunity, that's what you need immunity for if you ain't do shit. That's what really sparked my interest in the case, honestly. What you need immunity for if you ain't do shit? Honestly, what you need immunity for if you ain't did shit? Riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me that. So that's the one thing I find fishy. But hey, you in California, what do you call it? A liberal state. They just with everything. So you talk about kind of be a liberal. You already know they with this feminist alpha female, alpha feminist. They with this alpha feminist shit. You know what I'm saying? And you in the wrong state for that. If you was in Florida or one of them southern states, man, you probably wouldn't even be in this predicament. No cap. No cap. But you did it in the wrong state where everything is starting to favor women. They favoring alpha females. They favoring all that shit now, bro. So it's an unfortunate situation, if he's truly innocent. And why I believe he could be truly innocent is when the best friend asked for immunity. What you need immunity for if you ain't do shit? See, he probably didn't do that shit. Now I still believe that. But his reputation and some of the shit that been publicized, that's why, man, you gotta smile and you gotta have the goons do certain things. But yeah, he facing 9 years, 9 to 22, 9 minimum. So, and you a foreigner and you deplete your money fighting the case. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it a little bit unfair? It's look at the state you commit an act in. That's all I can say. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check the music entertainment playlist out. Thumbs up the video. I appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Hit the link tree. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, the whole nine, bro. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Best way to support is thumbs up, share the video, and give me a rating on whatever podcast platform you listen to. Peace.